guys, welcome back to the show that's going to take the guesswork out of your home remodel. I'm Pete, this is Gonzalo, and this is No One Knows.
That's right, guys. So stick around because if you didn't know, now you'll know. What's up, Pete? How are we doing today?
Everything's good. It's a little busy day today.
It's been crazy. What do you got in store for us?
So today we're going to do a new series called Shop Talk, when we talk to, people in our field, in our office and, or other professionals about, what we do for a living here.
That's right.
Today we have Jess, our director of production. Jess, thank you for coming on the show. How are you?
Anytime, guys. Thank you very much. Doing good. Very happy to be here.
All right. Thank you, Jess, for taking the time off your busy schedule that we all know you have.
Yes.
To sit down with us and go over a few questions that we get asked all the time and questions that, we have here for you. So, all right. Pete, I'm going to dive right into this.
Yeah, let's dive into it because Jess needs to get back to work, right? So.
That's right. She needs to go back to producing those jobs. So,
without a doubt.
Jess, talk to us about how you started in construction.
So that's a great question. I don't know if I really had much of a choice in the matter. I grew up in a construction family upstate, and from about the time I was 5 years old and on, I remember being on the job sites with my dad and going through everything. And he was very motivational and get your hands dirty, get in there, figure it out, learn how to do it. And so
very familiar.
Yeah. So I grew up with it. And of course, you go through high school and all this stuff, and then you go to college. I went away to college and got an education, which was a very beautiful thing, which I don't use at all. Very shortly after college, I started working full time for our family business and, worked there for several years, which was great because, not only did, like I said, he was very go learn it, go do it. So there's points in time that I was doing roofing. There's points in time that I was doing plumbing. There's points in time that I was doing electric. And I
want to touch on that, not just doing it saying I'm scheduling it to get it done,
no.
Doing it physically with your hands.
Correct.
So you understand the right process, what the right job is, and you understand what being in the field is like.
Yeah, 100%. I was on site with the guys working, shoulder to shoulder and learning the trades. Cause basically my dad's motto was, if you want to earn, you want to do well, and you got to learn and you got to know how to do it. And there's only one way to do that, and that's to immerse yourself in it. So I spent a lot of time in the field, and then simultaneously I was, also working with them, learning how to do estimating and learning how to do design and how to put projects together. So, it was like a full submersion. This is what, this is how you do it, and this is what you do it. So that gave me a great background.
That's a great background, and we're enjoying the benefits of that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Jess, I'm going to go into my next question, which is, you work for yourself and you have worked for others.
Yeah.
And once you're with NOAH Construction, what makes us different? And just give us a little bit of insight on that.
So what makes NOAH Construction different? So I've worked for competitors of ours. I've also worked for people I wouldn't consider competitors, and I've been on my own doing it, as well as for our family business upstate. And I got to say, NOAH does set apart just in the fact the customization that we do in people's homes is, I don't think we've ever done one set of plans to plan. It's always
consistently changing.
Because we like to tailor it to their needs and wants.
Yeah, 100%. So it's
also time changes things too. I mean, by the time they get through the permit process and getting permits, sometimes they change their minds and
all the time.
And we cater to that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah,
which is where, other people I work for don't really, it's this or that and that's it. Which isn't really the way I like to do it. So that's why I've been so happy over here at NOAH. It's just, we're able to take something from concept to reality, and then even during the process, keep tweaking it until it's exactly what the homeowner wants. And I think we deliver an amazing product at the end of the day. And, I think that's really what sets us apart is our customization and our willingness to do so.
And you experience that a lot as well, by being a project developer.
Yes.
Because you guys that had the pleasure of working with Jess, she's also a project developer here at NOAH. So, you call us and either Pete, Steve, or Jess will come out, and it's like sitting with the three of them, or because we all share what the design is, what everything is. So as a project developer too, you see that aspect of taking something from a sketch and tailoring it whichever way the client wants and possible to just make it happen.
Yeah, I really try and listen to what the homeowner needs and what they're trying to achieve in the space, what they're trying to use it for. And then, it's really sitting down with the existing footprint that we have and then just taking it and marrying those things together. And, one of my favorite things to do is the first sit down with a homeowner when you actually show them the design, because at that point you either know that you're really in the right direction or something's not right and you need to tweak it further. But basically, as we're moving through that whole process, there's constantly tweaking going on. There's constantly, what if we do this or what if we do that? And there's nothing more satisfying than sitting with somebody on that first day in their old home, which is not what their new home is going to be, and working with them throughout the project and then getting to the end of the project and seeing the result. It's
always a good feeling.
It is. Yeah.
That's great.
Pretty cool.
It's great.
It's always like, I try to, if you notice, we try to build on what people bring to us. Like Jess has a background in construction. Steve has a background in construction. And, I have an extensive background in construction, but I sit with all you guys and I try to make the experience for all the clients out there the same.
Yeah.
So it's not like they always need me. Having you or Steve going out to the job is almost like having me as well, too.
And that's something that we take pride on. And we call it the no experience, right? And we want the clients to have the same no experience. And even once the project becomes a reality and we're developing the project now, we're producing the project, right?
Yeah.
Like the project managers and site supervisors and all of that, we emphasize on having the same spirits. We want them to feel as if Peter was there, Jess was there. Mm-hmm. So that's something that you guys get with us is very valuable.
Yeah. And listen, our team isn't a bunch of people that used to be in finance or accounting.
No.
We all came and we grew up in this business. We grew up, doing doing this work. So when it comes to doing the designs and the new homes, we see the issues before they happen.
Yeah.
So sometimes it might, not be beneficial for us because we're usually maybe higher than the other guy. But you know what? We see those problems before they happen because we do so many of these jobs and we have so much extensive experience. And
we think of these projects as if they were our own homes. So we want what's best for it, right? Yeah. That takes me, Jess, on to my next question, which is, as our director of production, what is the biggest hurdle when it comes to producing these jobs?
So that's
and don't say it's Pete. Don't say it's him.
Yeah, that's
all right.
All right. I'll keep that one too.
Yeah,
they'll stay in house.
Right.
No,
I'm the one that's just trying to kick the can down the court.
Yeah.
So
listen, we want everything to go as smoothly as possible as it can for a homeowner. But it's construction. There's things that come up that are unexpected. Even with all of our trained eyes, sometimes there's things that just they happen. But I gotta say probably the biggest obstacle getting the job to go is going through the selection process with the homeowners.
Now everyone's so visual now.
Yeah, it's tough because,
we used to be able to drop off samples and then we would get a call back the next day. Oh, I want this and that. Now it's
but
20 renderings.
My sample is too small. I can't tell whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
We had a client that wanted us to side a whole wall with it just so they can make a decision.
Yeah.
So.
Which is, it's tough. So, and in order to keep a job moving succinctly, those decisions have to be made concisely and we have to be able to move through the job. So that's going to be one of our biggest challenges. But it's also part of what makes us is the fact that we will take the time to get to the right decision and we will sit with you and we will send you over a 3D visual. We will do all of those things because at the end of the day, the project's got to be, it's not just what we want. It's got to be what the homeowner wants and it's got to be their vision as to what they want their home to be. We're the catalyst to get them there. But really, that's the biggest challenge is getting all of those decisions.
Plus, there's so many details now.
Yeah.
I mean, just siding alone. I mean, you have multiple different materials for the walls, the soffits, the roofing, trim around the windows.
We're mixing it with stone and other finishes, wood finishes. Right. So, and it's one of the reasons why, Pete, you came up with that idea a couple of years ago, and it's finally a reality now, where we have our own showroom to show our clients and help them make those selections. And you're there. You're there, you're touching, you're feeling the product.
Yeah.
As is going to go in your house. So
Yeah, we even have an interior designer. We have a 3D renderer now to help try to bring those things to life for our clients. So it makes it easier for them to make that decision,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And I'm going to go into this next question. More for you, Jess. It's for the two of you. All right,
Yeah.
Pete. So get ready. This question we get a lot. You get it on Instagram a lot. We get it on email a lot. We get it. People call here and is one of the first things they ask. And that's going to be, what is your square foot price?
That's a great question. And
I'm going to let you lead with that one.
yeah,
Please.
I think my answer to most homeowners is you don't want a square foot builder, because you can have the same amount of space. And when you talk into doing home customization and making your house a home that you want to come home to, sometimes, where one builder might say, hey, listen, I'm $200 a square foot. Another builder might say I'm $600 a square foot. Another builder might say I'm $300 a square foot. It's all over the map because there's all sorts of different finishes you can put in a home, which is going to drive that cost to where it is. So to do a custom home, square foot numbers don't really come into play anymore.
They don't work, guys.
Yeah.
You heard it. And now we're going to hear Pete's opinion about this.
I'll give you an example. I mean, a couple episodes ago, we talked about, opening up the whole first floor, open floor plans, which is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
So people come into us with a ranch and they want to put a second story on it, and they want to take all the bedrooms off the first floor and make it full open space. So if you took that square footage of 1,000 square feet of the first floor and then you did a square foot number, how do you take in consideration the 28-foot pieces of steel, columns, piers to make that open space? And then we get into, what type of cabinets, are you going to go with a Chinese line from Queens, that a lot of people don't want? Or we're going to go put in a middle line? Are we going to put in a high-end line, like an inset cabinet? Are we doing painted finishes? Are we doing wood finishes? I mean, even in your windows, you can start with a very simple vinyl window. You can get into an Anderson. You can go into an A-series Anderson, and it just keeps, it tumbles. So for someone to come in and say, oh, I'll build your job for $250 a square foot, it's not going to happen. Because what's going to happen is you're going to sign a contract with someone, and when you start getting through the woods, it's going to start building up fast.
Yeah. I think as a consumer who's looking to do a project of any magnitude, to commit to a square foot price is basically committing to not have a budget in mind, because you're not going to know what it's going to be. I think you need to go to somebody who will spend the time with you, sit down, design your job, put it into reality of what are your finishes going to be, and then actually break down the job and give you a real number. I think that's the only way you can get to a true budget on any of the projects.
100%.
That we do.
For us, there's a lot of questions we ask. Like, what kind of flooring? We need to know what the structure is, because,
Finishes.
Let's just say you want to open up all the walls on the first floor. And now you want to put a 10-foot island double stacked in that. Mm-hmm. Now we have to think about the first floor joists. Is it going to support? How many times we go into a house and the island's shaking because they don't have the structure?
That's right.
First floor.
That's right. And you guys remember that one phone call we got? Yes, where they just bought a house. It was just done by a very reputable builder, and they're calling us to fix their first floor joists because their island is already caving in.
Yeah.
It does happen, guys. There's guys out there that do that.
Yep.
Right. And there's one more point I want to touch on is, we come to the table to a client when we're pricing jobs out, and we don't do square foot numbers. We get in and we ask the questions and we break it all down. It takes us a little longer to produce a number, because it's not like, write it out and $250 a square foot. I'll do your job for $250. It doesn't work that way here. And a lot of these guys, that if they don't do that, and they are coming in lower, it's because they sub everything out. Mm-hmm. So now, as a client, you are not getting, we have 45 in-house employees. We take care of everything from soup to nuts inside. We only sub out electric, plumbing, and HVAC, which is what you have to do. But those guys,
because of licenses,
but those guys just work on our jobs. They're going from one job to the next. But, when you start subbing out the whole job and you hire like a paper GC, you're getting the lowest bidder to work on your job. And you should be worried about that because, you should be asking the questions. How many employees do you have? Where's your office? Where's your showroom? If you're working out of a pickup truck, are you going to be here next year when
something happens?
Something happens.
My island is sinking.
So yeah,
yeah.
I guess what is that? The sweet taste of low prices always winds up in bitterness. I forget that saying, but
that's right. Yeah. Remember,
yeah.
The good ain't cheap, cheap ain't good.
100%.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, to wrap up on square foot, I mean, we get that question all the time.
Yeah.
It's,
stop asking that question, please. No more. It doesn't work.
What you should be asking is, how many employees do you have? Do you have the right insurance? Are your roofers have roofers insurance, not landscape insurance?
What are your warranties? Which we have a very good warranty and service contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a 2-year warranty that coincides with a 2-year service contract that we come twice a year out to our clients' houses and spring and fall. I mean, all that costs money. And to have your own employees with big payroll in New York, Long Island, it costs money. Yeah. But you know what? When it comes down to it, it's the right thing to do because we put out a beautiful product.
Yeah,
and,
without a doubt.
And we pride on giving our customers the no experience. And when we go back for our service calls, our customers love so much our team that they ask, who's coming? Oh, this guy is coming. I know who he is. They'll leave the door open for us. They trust us. They know that we're going to go do the right thing. And it's amazing to be able to have that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Jess,
we're a full Noah family. When you sign with a company like ours, you're joining a family. So
yeah,
we have a very big extended family.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Pete, anything else you have? Anything you want to add?
I think that was pretty good. We'll have Jess on again, talking about different things. There's so much to talk about in this industry. And, but no, I think that was good. So Jess, thank you so much for, taking the time out. I know it took you away from a busy schedule.
That's okay.
And, we'd like to give you one of these mugs.
Well, thank you.
Right. So we know you need a lot because to deal with everything that you deal with our lovely customers, you need a lot of coffee.
I do need a lot of coffee. Without a doubt.
And now you have your own personal. Make sure you put your name on it.
I will, so nobody steals it and takes it.
But yeah, guys, so that was our show. Thank you. If you like what you've seen, like what you heard, please subscribe. It helps us out, get the word out there, all of our free content we have. But please, like and share our show.
That's right, guys. And if you didn't know, now you know.
Give it my all.